So we had heard that one of our coworkers, Seth Snyder's bike, had been stolen. And when we found out that it was his only mode of transportation to and from work, we knew that we had to do something for him. We went home that evening, talked about it, came back to work the next day, spread the word to all of surgical services, and within 8 hours, we had more than enough money to purchase him a new bike, a lock, and some accessories to go with it. I contacted Seth's supervisor and asked him to come to surgical services at a specific time, and he was on board with it. So he had Seth come up here when my coworker came back with the bike that she had bought within an hour of leaving the hospital that day.
So I hightailed it out of here, went up to Walmart, purchased the bike, got it loaded, everything else done. It was like Christmas shopping on speed.
He was extremely gracious. He hugged me, he hugged everybody that was there. He was speechless. No buses, no taxis, no Uber, nothing like that. It's his only mode of transportation, even in the winter. He's riding his bike from Yeagertown, and I can't even imagine how long of a bike ride that is. But if that's the way he can get to and from work to help provide for him, his wife, and his 2 kids. This department is extremely generous. It's amazing to me what can happen in a small amount of time. The people here care so much about not only each other, but everybody else here, outside of here. It's so touching to be able to work for a group like this.
It's an amazing thing. You see birth every day. If you start with them in labor and delivery, you're with them on the worst and best day of their life. I love it. I love my job. I think that it's a very close-knit little community. I think the hospital plays a big part in it. A lot of our patients don't have the transportation available to go elsewhere. I had an Amish couple come in and have their baby. I talk a lot to my patients, and we just kind of got in conversation, and he was asking where I lived. And as we were talking, he was stating that he lived about a mile away from me. He is a farmer. He needed a ride in the morning to come into the hospital with his wife and child. So I volunteered to pick him up in the morning. It was not a big deal. He was ready to go at the door, and he was very appreciative of that.
It never fails if she has a patient. They always mention that they love her because she's just a caring person. She is not unlike many of my colleagues who go above and beyond and always do what's right for the patient. Just showing them how much they truly do care at sometimes the best day of their lives.
Hi, good morning, Mr. James. Good to see you again. So what brings you in today?
I've been having some kind of intense cramps, almost like a...
Caring and taking care of a patient, there is no going above and beyond. It's what we all should be doing every day with every interaction we have with patients, with colleagues.
I think he's all in all the perfect clinician. He has an excellent knowledge base. He takes excellent care of his patients. He's always available. He's always open to discussing how to better our care.
He cares for his patients. He cares for his colleagues like nobody I've ever met. I've seen him on a number of occasions call patients on off hours, call my own patients when he was on call, follow up in the hospital when patients are admitted.
There was a time when my pager malfunctioned, and David volunteered to take the calls for me until my pager was repaired. You don't find that kind of kindness in everyone, yet it's the type of standard that he sets for our department.
Excellent. Do you have any questions for me?
I have never met a man who has such good manners and is so polite to everybody around him. Sometimes when we'll go out, I've been out with his wife and my wife will end the evening by saying, "Why can't you be more like David?" Or, "Did you see how he opened the door for the car?" That's a challenge to me to be better. Everywhere you meet him, he exudes politeness, kindness, and compassion.
I love doing what I do. Hi, how are you? Literally, I wake up every morning and I thank God that I wake up in the morning at 2 feet on the floor. I have a great job to go to. I have a great crew that I work with. And then I have patients who are grateful when you walk in with their trays. I was kidding. My name is Frank. I work in food service. What can I open up for you?
What's this?
Soup? You got 2 soups, right? Yep. Oh, the cream of broccoli. Yes?
Cream of broccoli.
Crackers in your soup?
Crackers in my soup. Oh. I saw a mug down there. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So.
You're a funny girl.
Love you.
You're making me blush.
Yeah, you're getting all
Yeah.
red.
You need salt?
Yeah, thank you.
If I see that you need something, I'm going to take care of you.
He does a lot of small acts of kindness throughout his day, throughout his floor. He'll have something with every patient on that floor. You know, and a lot of those patients are only here for a day, but he'll have that act of kindness. Even when he's having a bad day, he never lets anyone see it. You know, he's always trying to help them, always trying to make it a better day, always trying to encourage them. It's infectious.
I like serving people because I feel that to do unto others, I would rather put you before me. My wife has it at home. Thanks, ladies.
Sometimes we find it's so hard to cry. We see the darkness, even in the light.
We have a lot of patients on the psych unit that come in and they're just like really depressed, and he just teaches them how to deal with everyday life stressors.
And nobody knows how it really goes. All these feelings inside me, they're so frightening. But I will help you through. I will help. I messed up. And I will help you through. I don't even know my own song. And the cool part is I mess up a lot too, because you know I get nervous sometimes, and you know that happens in life too. If you mess up on a chord, you mess up on a lyric. Don't let yourself fumble and crumble. You just got to keep going with it. And I think we could all relate to that as well. It's something just natural. You know, we're bound to fall, and it's how you get back up, I think, after you fall. When you're going through a tough experience and you hear a song, and you might cry. And then a year later, you might hear that same song and think back to, wow, I was in that rough spot. And life's different, life's better. So sometimes when you're experiencing those dark moments in life, it's really tough to see the light, and it's really tough to just kind of push through. And I think sometimes you need someone there for you to do that.
And then he takes them, does art with them, he sings with them, and they love it because it keeps our patients from thinking of all the bad things that are going on in their lives. It keeps them from hiding out in their rooms.
These clients that, you know, are really dealing with a lot of issues in their life, like it was awesome for them to jam and feel the music, you know, so he was able to tap into that. It was great. I mean, he does that in all that he does, but, you know, his hidden talent is there.
We have a patient, she was very depressed. She was not eating, she was not talking. We realized that she was not eating for weeks at home. and she was not eating in the hospital. You know, she was missing the family. She's from Dominican Republic. I want her to feel like she was at home, that she was not alone. So I came back to visit her with my 2 boys. As soon as she saw my boys, she was like smiling, you know, smiling. She was happy. She hugged my kids. She kissed my kids because, you know, this is our culture. Our culture is hugging, touching, you know, kissing. And she was talking to me.
Pearl actually brought food in from home for this patient on her day off, just to get her to eat and respond. And it was just wonderful of her, you know, selfless for her to come in on her own time.
Food, make the family get together on the table, and you know, it's a culture thing. I think, you know, for her was very important. You want to show someone love, you cook for them. So it's the way that tell someone, hey, te quiero, you know, I love you.
She asks about our families, how we're doing. She'll never leave work without asking if there's something else that she could do. Corolla cares beyond the job.
Care with compassion. I think there is no care in the health field without compassion.